how to beat writer's block. But before we talk about that, perhaps we should try and define what it is. Now, I don't think you'll find one definitive answer to that question. Certainly, no hardcore qualitative stats exist to give you a number of how many writers suffer from writer's block. I'd venture to suggest that almost all writers have at some stage suffered from writer's block, but many would only admit to it long after they've overcome it. You see, writer's block is about as varied as hair color or strains of the flu. For me, it might be my inability to develop character. For another, it might be some elusive plot they can't hold on to. For yet another, it might be a place name. I once spent a week trying to name a character. I tried on a ton of names and finally settled on one. So you see, writer's block is not necessarily the inability to write at all or write something new. It also includes not being able to move past a certain point in the story or struggling to create a particular scene. In severe cases, yes, it would be the inability to write at all. And that's about as close as you're going to get to any kind of definition. Now, some people will say it's a genuine disorder, and others will say it's just something in your head. Now, in the 1970s, two psychologists, Jerome Singer and Michael Barrio, they decided to find out. And after following a group of block writers for several months, they concluded that there are 4 broad causes of writer's block. These were excessively harsh self-criticism, fear of comparison to other writers, lack of external motivation like attention or praise, and a lack of internal motivation, such as the desire to tell one story. So if you want to sum it all up, writer's block stems from various feelings of discontent with the creative process of writing. And that's actually useful to know because these feelings, for indeed they are feelings, are not irreversible. Every writer starts with a sense of excitement and purpose. Getting those feelings back is what helps you to beat writer's block. Now, I'm not talking about this from an academic standpoint. I'm talking about this from a position of someone who's not immune to writer's block in some form or another, just like everyone else. And I'm sure you could look it up and you'd find a ton of tips. I'm going to tell you what I do about it. Like I said, I'm not immune to writer's block, though I write every day. That sounds like a contradiction in terms. This is how I do it. The best creativity is often the result of good work habits. You ask any commercial artist, they'll agree. But you're thinking, hold on, creativity isn't something that you can schedule. It's something that comes and goes. It has peaks and it has troughs. Surely you can't schedule something like creativity. But if you're only writing when you feel creative, you're going to get stuck faster than a turtle stampeding through peanut butter. Pick a time of the day or every other day or on weekends if that's what you can swing. But stick to it. Forming a writing habit is always a good place to start. If you're writing on a computer, then understand this. Unlike an average watch or a pen, a PC is not a single-use device. It does other things. So sometimes you're writing and you hear that ping of an email coming through. So you check that. Then you think of something else and so you Google that. The next thing you know, you're checking out a video related to that or not related to that, and before you know, you're down this rabbit hole and you've led off into all kinds of places and you upped your eyes in random rubbish and you've accomplished nothing. So shut down programs or applications that you're not using. Your phone, stick it in another room. If you have to force the issue, then try an app like Cold Turkey. It essentially turns your PC into a typewriter, allowing you to do literally nothing else until you've accomplished your writing goal. This is a tool that I use more than any other. When I'm struggling with a particular project, be it a novel, a short story, or something in corporate communications, I stop and I write something else. Most of the time, these are recollections and stories, things I've done, which I embellish and I add to and I dramatize. So if you're banging your head for a while, then feel free to push your project to the side for now and write something new, even if only 500 words or so. This will help to maintain your routine and allow your thoughts to simmer. If you need help with this, then try some writing prompts or even a plot generator. Take a look at these, for example. Think of a teacher that you had or you have. Give him or her a secret, perhaps like a superpower or even a secret love. Write about that, put down 500 words on it. You build a puppet, or perhaps you paint a picture or you craft a sculpture. You turn your back for a minute, and when you turn back, it has come to life. What happens next? So while you're not writing what you should be writing, you can still, and often do, make some conceptual progress and then come back with new ideas. Sometimes you just have to change your point of view. Often, if you're stuck on a character or a scene, it helps a great deal to see that scene from the perspective of another character, a minor character, for example. How would that minor character narrate the scene if they were witnessing it? Perhaps even try seeing it from the perspective of an inanimate object, like how that scene would look if viewed from outside a window. And this can give you new eyes and help you see clearly the scenes that you could improve and how to proceed from there. Take a bath, take a walk, do some sort of prolonged exercise. Some of my best ideas have come via a yoga session, a stretching session, some jiu-jitsu, or a long bubble bath. The best ideas seem to arrive while you're doing seemingly mindless activities. There is actually a scientific reason for this, okay? Apparently, when you're doing something monotonous, your brain goes on autopilot. And this allows your subconscious to wander wherever it wants to without logic-driven restrictions. Basically, you daydream. And in that daydream, you make creative connections that you might otherwise have missed. Now, like our psychologist Singer and Barrio mentioned, writer's block often comes from a problem that is deeper than a mere lack of inspiration. Sometimes it helps you to dig a little deeper and see if you can arrive at a cause. To do so, you can ask yourself these questions. Do I feel pressure to succeed? Have I lost sight, perhaps, of what my story is about, or interest in where it is going? Do I lack confidence in my abilities, even if I've written plenty before? Have I not written in so long that I feel intimidated by the act? Or am I simply feeling tired and run down? Each of these has a different solution, but the mere act of asking yourself these questions can have a catalyzing effect. If it causes introspection and examining of yourself, your motivations, your fears, then that is a good thing. So be assured of this and take comfort. Writing anything at all is an enormous accomplishment. And if you manage to get down 500 words today, you're doing better, 100% more than the person who won't even try. So I hope you found this helpful, and if you have, drop me a comment below. If you want a one-on-one session with me, contact me via the channel or drop me an email. Before you leave, do me a favor, hit subscribe, hit the bell icon so you stay up to date, notified of all the content, all the tips, all the tricks, all the tutorials, all the information as I put it out. Until then, cheers.